Okay guys, so just recently, a lot more than like 8 hours ago when I'm reporting this, Sketch, I call him Sketch 7, but I think it's just Sketch, he responded to a bunch of questions on Reddit for questions for the Halo MCC and the Halo Insider program for the Halo MCC, and about PC and a bunch of other things. So going down a list, someone summarized here, just going down the list of different things that they talked about. They mentioned a bunch of things here, so there's a lot to go over. They talk about releasing and pricing. So I'll go down each one here, just if you don't feel like reading it all, but I'll put a link to the Reddit post so you can go through that. But they did estimates for the Reach flight. Team is working on first audience based on needs of the game, also working on a solid first pass of the PC UI controls before release. Halo Insider player selection process, want to accept as many people as possible against specific needs for the particular flight. Release order, Halo Reach is in priority. Obviously it's going to be the first one coming out, but Halo Custom Combat Evolved is being worked on in parallel. Games will release when ready, so there's going to be no release date. It's just going to be whenever it's ready, it's going to ship. I guess that's how it's going to go. The purchase options, individually each game will release within the MCC as or as a whole in the end. You cannot purchase the whole game right off the bat. You'll have to wait. If you want to purchase the whole thing when everything's done, all in one bundle, you have to buy that after they've all released. So I think that'd be coming right as Halo 4 releases. As for the price, they said the details are still to follow, so there's no update on that. When it comes to the PC experience, the PC system requirements will be determined during the flight results. Windows support for Windows 10 and Windows 7 and Windows 8 is possibly being investigated. That's an interesting thing there about Windows 7. Yeah, because I thought they were pretty much discontinuing that entirely for Windows 10. But anyways, the frame rate, the goal is to unlock the frame rates in all titles, but it may vary from title to title. It may actually be, for some of them, it's possible that it may be restricted because there are issues when you try to have unlocked frame rates that it kind of gets buggy on some of the older games. So we'll see about that. That's from what they're saying. When it comes to keyboard and mouse controls is top priority. Will come with some balance changes with whether that means balancing each weapon to compensate for increased accuracy and precision for mouse and keyboard. If it means adding some kind of balance to allow keyboard and mouse and controller users to still have an enjoyable experience together is unclear, because also they don't even know whether they're going to have that kind of crossplay or not. For platforms. But the field of view slider, yes, level of field of view will vary from title to title. Okay, so that's understandable. Centered crosshairs currently being investigated. Ultra wide support, Windows mode 28 by 9, 16 by 9, 16 by 10, 3 by 2, and 4 by 3. PC crossplay, which when I was doing that last video I did on the news thing, they did actually talk about that already, so this is just reiterating on that. But yeah, you will be able to play between Steam and Windows. You'll be able to do that. The real question though is whether or not you can play with the console players, because this is actually pretty important. Not so much I really care, but there are probably other people that care about the idea of playing matchmaking, but it's also when it comes to custom games and Firefight and stuff like that, they'd be able to play with everyone across the board and, you know, have fun with each other playing cooperatively, or even just playing in custom games in general. But let's see here. Centered crosshairs currently being investigated. FOV sliders. Oh, sorry, my bad. I got caught wrong thing right there. Anti-cheat, which they did answer. Yes, more details to come. So that's glad to hear that. Hopefully they're gonna also, on top of that, add in more punishments for those people that just intentionally find ways to abuse the system to try and, like, you know, egg people on by not killing them but damaging them enough to try and get them to respond back and kill them back. You know, people that do that nonsense and cause really bad stuff. Also, what's really interesting here, custom edition map support. So they're talking about possibly actively exploring how to bring CE content to PC. This is, again, something I've been covering a lot on my channel versus all the others. Not many people actually cover this stuff. When it comes to these custom games and stuff like that, people really want the idea of being able to bring these cool different custom creations over. I'm hoping that they do something more than that, like not just custom edition, but also the Vista maps. There's actually some decent ones on there. And again, both Combat Evolved Combat Evolved and Vista, or Halo 2, are both the PC versions already. They're already the PC ones. That's why certain weapons and certain maps and stuff like that are on there that you could not access. Like, for example, I think it was, I'm trying to remember the name of it. Urban or something like that in Halo 2, that it was never on the console version. It was only for the PC. And then Example was another map from Halo 2. Also, there's certain like things, like I think the flamethrower was never actually on the Combat Evolved for the Xbox, and you couldn't have the Banshee on the Blood Gulch for the Xbox version. So that's some stuff why it was an advantage to have the PC versions when they did that. So now on top of that, they may even also be able to have the custom edition stuff come over. If they can have that in the Vista with now Halo 3, Halo Reach, and Halo 4 community made content being able to be imported over, that'd be actually really great. So I really hope so. They also, sorry, got a little sidetracked there, but also mod support, working closely with modding community to provide official mod support after launch. Launch priority is making the games feel right and security with anti-cheat. So yeah, that's still a thing that they're looking into. Then here, server browser dedicated custom servers cannot commit to this at this time, but is a topic of discussion. So that is basically saying that it doesn't look like it's planned at this point. So yeah, that's interesting because they did just talk about having a custom game browser. So I'm actually a little bit confused now if what's they're exactly. I'm not sure if I maybe just be misunderstanding this, but yeah, I thought they said they were having a custom game browser being added. I'm not sure if this server browser, if they're talking about something different, if they're talking about getting rid of the what's it called, the not conduit. What's the name of the thing that they have now? The Halo, whatever the matchmaking thing they have now, I keep forgetting the composer, the matchmaking composer. I think if they're saying that they're going to get rid of that for a server browser, which I hope not. I can totally, support a custom game browser for custom games, but I really actually like the way that they're doing the matchmaking composer, because what it does is it makes it so you still do matchmaking. Because server browser, there's no matchmaking in it. You're basically just choosing where you want to join, and you don't know if it's actually going to be balanced or not. But that's what makes it confusing, because it's a dedicated custom server. So I wonder what they mean by that. But yeah, if they do have that, that would be pretty nice for have custom games with. But the reason why I'll go into another really long video about why something like the matchmaking composer is actually better than server browser or veto or voting, because there's a lot of actual problems that people ignore, but there's actually reasons why they're so disliked and why they were abandoned originally, for matchmaking purposes at least. But for custom games, I totally see custom game server browser being very vital to quality of life for the game. Anyways, cross-platform in progress. So yes, you will be able to actually, at least they finally answered this one, you're going to be able to, at least when it comes to the console, be able to carry your progress over to your PC if you get it for the PC version. That's what they're saying. So that's great news. That's great news, because otherwise I would have been really disappointed on that if they were telling us we had to do that stuff all over again. I know there's some people that like doing that, but not everyone is like them that likes to do that all over again. But for example, Halo Reach progress carrying over from the Xbox 360, for example, will not carry over. And that's understandable. I mean, that's like Halo 3 and Halo 4. Obviously, when they port it over, it's not going to carry it over. It would be nice, but it's not the exact perfect game. And just to even make you guys understand, it's not exactly the same IP as people might think. It's not like they literally just grabbed the game and put it over. They are taking essential assets and texture files and a whole bunch of other stuff, but they're not necessarily the same exact game. It doesn't, unfortunately work like that, which is an interesting thing of why I'm going to be covering something really interesting about why people that say Hayabusa doesn't exist in other games, that actually technically does. I'll go into a whole video about that, the myth of Hayabusa, but it's actually not locked because of Halo 3, like some sort of legal contract. It's actually a pretty interesting one, but I'm going to go through that in another video. It's going to be pretty interesting. So, sorry to keep getting sidetracked here. Sorry. But let's see here. Stats, achievements, forged maps, game variants will all carry over. What? That's pretty cool. Oh, I think they're talking about, I was thinking Halo Reach, and sorry, my bad. I think that they're saying, sorry, they're talking about the whole game. Game saves will not. I think when they're saying game saves, like campaign, that's going to be pretty interesting. I think that might be because people otherwise might do some sort of like cheat for the achievements and whatnot. I don't know. I have no idea. But let's see, Xbox to PC crossplay, not currently committed to for launch, but actively investigating, which means pretty much that's a no, but may change later. So yeah, that's the thing I'm worried about, because if I want to be able to play with my friends, play Firefight, play custom games, play all that fun stuff, I can't do that. If that happens, it's just that's going to be unfortunate, because that's the whole fun of it, being able to play with all your friends and be able to play custom games. I want to be able to play with other people and enjoy the game at the same time. So yeah, also the Play Anywhere will not be part of Play Anywhere. So there's the answer. We won't have that, but at least the progress will carry over, which is good news. But like what I said, but investigating an option for those who have purchased the MCC on Xbox. So thankfully we got a response right away on this, because yeah, I just posted that video literally like today, but I worked on it yesterday, and that was like a lot of people were upset about that. They were like, wait, so you're telling me you abandoned this game 343 for years while we still played it and still dealt with the BS. You come back, you partially fix it. There's still issues I can mention about that, but you partially fix it. Now you bring the PC and you're saying, hey, if you want that, even though we released it on Xbox, but if you want it on PC as well, you're gonna, even though you might have never actually bought it on Xbox if we had it on PC first, but if you want it, you're gonna have to cough up another $60, bro. It's like it is basically an abusive relationship. It's like literally that you're dating a chick, she walks out on you and leaves you when your relationship goes through some trouble, and then she comes back and she goes, oh baby, I missed you so much, man, I missed you. It's just and trying to act like nothing ever happened. That's the best way to describe how it kind of is. And that's in one other game that people keep pointing out to, that says, oh well, such and such did it, so you shouldn't get mad at 343 doing it, is they try to point out Gears of War Ultimate Edition. And I just took a brief second to look at that, and Gears of War Ultimate Edition that you have to buy both on the Windows 10 and on Xbox, it has no crossplay support at all. The game is buggier than hell, and they've never fixed it. They gave it the Halo MCC treatment at launch, like for the PC for Gears of War Ultimate Edition, where they quickly just abandoned this game. I'm still like, when I just decided to look into this, there's even like a month ago a report, their games are just crashing on there when they try to play on the PC version. So basically they gave no support for this game. They just quickly just said Epic Games, or not Epic Games, they don't, sorry, I just keep thinking of back in the day, but the company Coalition now, or whoever it was that helped bring it over to the PC, pretty much said, hey, here you go, oh I know it's all buggy, but give us some money, okay, we're out of here. They did a quick cash grab and just effed off basically, and basically just said, oh well. So yeah, but that's the thing here. That's why people are worried about that. So they said that they're gonna look for other options. Personally, I hope they do something like an 80% or something, something that says like, hey, we stuck through it because we actually cared and played and whatnot. So that's, they said that they're investigating that, so hopefully they have something for us. Some people mentioned that they want to see maybe an emblem or something. I don't know, but that's one thing on there. I'm not sure if an emblem would really be that much, in my opinion, but to me, I would rather like to see the fact that they're not going to charge me to pay another $60 just to play the game on PC. After everything that's happened, and we've already been supporting it, I'm already going to buy the Reach DLC. So the fact that they're going to add an additional cost to it might sound kind of like a big WTF, which also makes me wonder. You have to buy it in chunks when it comes to PC, but they said the Reach DLC is going to be free for the multiplayer, but for the campaign. So are you playing? Wait, you have to buy Reach again, or how's that going to work? Is Reach you have to buy the entire chunk for Reach for the PC, but if you're on Xbox, it's free, but you have to buy the multiplayer and campaign or whatnot. That's what I'm just trying to figure out how that's going to work, or not the campaign multiplayer, the campaign, the Forge, the custom games, however that works, but that the multiplayer is going to be free on the Xbox. So that's a couple questions there. Now this is pretty interesting when it comes to the MCC, when it comes to the armor customization, mix and match customization for Reach. What was it? Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, mix and match customization. They said it's for Reach, but not for Halo 3 or other titles. Unlocked via in-game progression, not monetization. I don't know how to feel about that. Like, I'm one of the first people that ever got Inheritor in Halo Reach, and I absolutely hated how long it took. I even hate how long Halo 5 is taking, and I was one of the first people to get that, and I still, to this day, do not like how long it took. I really hope that they're not talking about making us have to go through that whole hassle again. I hope whatever the in-game progression is not another, hey, you got to play 2 years or 1 year and play like 10 hours a night in order to like get it done within a year. That was just ridiculous. So hopefully, in fact, it's funny because I'm actually doing a video that's going to be covering about the current the progression ranking system from Halo 3, Halo Reach, Halo 4, and Halo 5. But yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm totally cool with customization being there right off the bat, but don't tell me I have to do Inheritor again through the same amount of gameplay time. That is ridiculous. That would be almost as bad as saying you have to play Halo 5 to get an armor in Halo Infinite. That'd be pretty ridiculous right there. Glad though they're not monetizing it. That's at least a good part there. Forge QOL. I'm sorry if I don't know what that means. Quality of life. My bad. Forge quality of life and improvements. Forge will be releasing after initial releases as it requires much more effort and time. Fine. I can deal with that, but it would be nice if they also have an importer for just importing the classics from the standalones. Reach multiplayer playlist. No specifics on playlists yet, but we'll look into community feedback and input to make experiences better. Hopefully one of the things that they can bring into the Halo Reach multiplayer is Firefight. No, not Firefight. I said Firefight right after that. No. Invasion. That's the one I want. Hopefully they bring that. I loved Invasion. I hope they can bring that back. And then what else is there? Firefight. Reach will have Firefight. ODST Firefight is not priority at this time because focus is on ODST campaign for PC. So that's basically a no for ODST Firefight until otherwise, they change their mind. So that's a no for now. Local split screen. Team is looking at what can be supported for split screen. Okay. Sounds good. In-game terminals, more details to follow. So it looks like there's some more details to follow, but a lot of good chunks of questions that I had. Looks like a lot of people are asking them, so looks like we're getting answers on that, so that's great. Glad to hear that. Not sure how well I'm gonna like that idea of having to reprogress everything again. I'm totally fine with having tons of customization. I don't care if people have the Inheritor skull. It's just you already did it on Reach, so I don't know why I would have to be forced to have to do it all over again just to get that armor. I don't know. There's some people that are like that. I never understand that, why they say, oh, I like to, spend hours redoing the same thing over and over again, and I demand that I should get a reward. But if anyone who wants to play different stuff all the time, they should not get a reward. It's like, that's kind of stupid. But that's, you know, me just rambling on here. That's just my thing on that one. But yeah, I really hope they do consider putting ODST Firefight in the game, because that was really fun to play. That was like Halo Reach and Halo ODST Firefights are like two separate things. Reach is like the fun, do whatever you want, go crazy, and ODST is like the competitive version. It's way more difficult. You're like, basically, you are an ODST. You can easily just like die real quickly in this game. It's that simple, and basically you're not fast at all. You can't move around as much. Which, one thing I do find weird is in Halo ODST is, why is it when you pick up the chain gun you move faster than a Spartan does with the chain gun? I never understand that. I never understood that, why it was like that. I think it was just because to make it so that the meta wasn't off or anything, but it was weird. But yeah, if they could, you know, like port over other things, that would be great. For Custom Edition, Vista, Halo 3, Halo 4, Halo Reach. If you could port over those, that would be just absolutely beautiful. But again, a lot of these questions, it's really cool that they all got answered, because I was really curious about that, if they were ever going to actually do that. So I'm glad to hear that they're doing that. And again, I will never really understand why people have such a hate to play against people with keyboards and mouses. They're like, oh, I don't want to play against someone with a keyboard and mouse. They'll own me at the game. I go, do you think right now you're playing pretty good on Halo MCC? Yeah, I do pretty good. You do know that there's people that play with a keyboard and a mouse on an Xbox One, and they fucking go, what are you talking about? When did this become a thing? It's like, you need to check out some of these other people's videos. I think it was like Forge Labs, or I can't remember, Luke the Notable. I think one of them did a video on that where he's playing with a keyboard and a mouse. So, I mean, it's really up to anyone. Like, the funny part is when it comes to keyboard and mouses, keyboard, great and all, but you can only move in 8 directions, whereas a controller, you can actually move in multiple directions. But yes, with a mouse, you're a lot more accurate. So it's kind of like a give or take. There's certain advantages. Again, the only thing I'm ever going to be worried about, whichever becomes a reality, is motion, or is it eye tracker. If that ever becomes a thing where you can shoot and you can use your eye tracker and you can just track people on the screen and shoot that way, then that's going to become a big problem, because that means people can be instantaneously fast at the game and like aiming and shooting. That would just not make it fair at all. But yeah, that would just be pretty interesting if that ended up becoming a thing. That's something understandable. But right now, since you can already play a keyboard and mouse on an Xbox One, I see no reason why, if you can play a controller on a PC, why exactly we can't just have crossplay. I really don't get it. I really don't understand those people that make such a big deal about it. Then they don't realize the fact that they've been playing with people with keyboards for like over like 2 or 3 years now. But anyways, that's my opinion. I'm going to ramble on too much, and it's been like 22 minutes now. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm going to wrap it up here. I just had a lot to say. This is great to hear that a lot of these questions got answered. Hopefully some more get answered sooner. And I really do hope to God they do decide to do ODST Firefight, and I really hope that they import games over and all that other stuff, because I'm really curious to want to know how it's going to go. But I was actually surprised to see that Windows 7 was actually going to get this treatment, because that was pretty interesting. But again, I hope the progress for Halo Reach is like quick, like a couple months of gameplay, you got it. Not this whole, oh, let's do another fucking ridiculously long grind fest. I hate grind fests. That's the whole reason why I even stopped playing Destiny, was because that's all it is. It's just a grind. I hate that. I hate that idea that you have to do that all over again kind of thing. Just not my thing. I like to, you know, just jump on Reach when it comes to MCC and just put on my Inheritor skull and just go for it. Ooh, and that would be cool, those visual effects. Yeah, I hope they actually have like the, what was it, inclement weather and all those other cool ones. Or the one where you get shot in the head and then confetti pops out like the actual grunt skull. I keep forgetting, Grunt Birthday Party. I hope they have that. Sorry, I keep rambling on. I'll probably just add this stuff in like the video bio or the pinned comment. But yeah, anyways, you all take care. Peace. Bye.
Wow.